What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. This is my first time looking at these cards along with you, and I might be watching too much Fortnite, but I'm personally excited for the ninjas. The ninjas description really took me by storm, but I am also very much looking forward to what these do and how they're going to work together and what meta implications they might have. So, we're very close to the release date for Shadows in Valhalla, the 60-card all-foil set that brings Siegfried von Schroeder's long-awaited Valkyries to your deck. If you've never watched the Valkyries in action in the KC Grand Prix, you can check out Siegfried's duel against Joey Wheeler here and here, linked, and I'll link this down below for you guys. Be sure to check out some of Siegfried's other duels too, including his ultimate showdown against Kaiba. Let's start with the big one, Mischief of the Time Goddess. Hey, they've written the effects here on the Konami blog. Thank you. This is awesome. It's a quick play spell card. Neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. Yo! That's pretty darn good. I'm liking that. Let's get this together on the screen. Cannot be activated as a chain link 2 or higher, so it has to start its own chain. But I suppose if you've already advanced to where it can be activated, like, you can start the chain as turn player, perhaps. At the end of your battle phase, if all monsters you control are Valkyrie monsters, send this card to the graveyard, so like it activates and send itself. Also, immediately after this effect resolves, skip to the start of the battle phase of your next turn. If you do, you cannot activate Mischief of the Time Goddess until the end of that turn. So, if I'm reading this right, if all monsters you control are Valkyrie monsters, minimum 1, send this card to the graveyard. So, specifically the quick play spell card. You're able to go in. So it's locked in the archetype. It's not going to be terrorizing the meta from a standpoint of multiple decks. You have to control Valkyries only, and your only tricks would be, I guess, recurring Valkyries, perhaps during the battle phase with Revival, or what's on the board already. Okay, so this sounds like a going second deck to me, because you're going to be building up and attacking through a board, and then doing it again, as Chris Jericho might say. Just like on TV, if you had Valkyries on the field, and only Valkyries at the end of your battle phase, you can fast forward the game to the start of your battle phase, your next turn's battle phase, skipping your opponent's turn entirely. Also, if you're wondering about the bit of text that says send this card to the graveyard, that's just a little housekeeping item. If you can't send it to the graveyard for some reason, the effect still works, because this is an also effect, meaning you do as much as you can, and the different parts of the effect are not connected. Playtesting showed that some duelists weren't sure what to do with the card itself, since the resolution skips to a completely different turn, so we added that bit of text to make it clear. Rest assured, Mischief of the Time Goddess will still work even if you can't place it in the graveyard because of Macros, Cosmos, or some other effect. So it's basically saying that you skip to the turn and, or no, you send it and immediately then you skip. This is some weird text, but they've clarified it here, and hopefully that message rings loud and clear to other duels. Let's see how good the archetype that carries this card is, though. It has to be pretty good, right? A pack based around it. Ride of the Valkyries coming up here. It's a normal spell. Special summon any number of Valkyrie monsters with different names from your hand. So basically pendulum summon them out of your hand in a sense. You just flood the field. If you special summon 3 or more monsters with this effect, you take no battle damage until the end of the next turn. So maybe if they have ram effects or something, that's important. During the end phase of the turn you activated this card, shuffle all monsters you control into the deck. But you skip to the next battle phase, so you'd skip your end phase with Mischief of the Time Goddess. You can banish this card from your graveyard and add 1 Mischief of the Time Goddess from your deck to the hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. So there's no clause stopping that, right? During the end phase, you activated this card, shuffle. Okay, so you can just straight up banish this card and add Mischief of the Time Goddess from your deck to your hand. And so you could have just special summoned any number of Valkyries to get this to the grave, banish, and go ahead and just grab Mischief. This toolbox is already seeming pretty good so far. So far, so good. So far, so good. Ride of the Valkyries special summons your Valkyries from hand. The drawback is the return to the hand during the end phase of that turn, but only that turn. So if you skip to the end phase of that turn by using Mischief of the Time Goddess to fast forward the game to your next turn, then your Valkyries remain on the field permanently. Nice, nice. As for the last effect, which lets you search Mischief of the Time Goddess from your deck, you might be thinking, hey, it didn't do that on TV. You're right, it didn't. We added that to make Valkyries more competitive in today's faster dueling environment. Thank you, Konami. All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Here's are the 4, no, make that 5 new Valkyries that come in the set. Some of their effects have been upgraded from their TV versions. Ooh, so we got a level 4, a level 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, is that 8 or 7? 2, 4, 6 here. So 2 6s, and 2, 4, 6, 7. So varying levels, only 1 normal summonable one, so I think we're going to be relying on this a lot unless they have effects that give themselves out. Alright, Valkyrie Drite, a fairy effect, light level 4, attack 1000, defense 1600 monster. If this card is normal summoned or set, or special summon, my bad, normal summon or special summon, you can add 1 Valkyrie card from your deck to your hand except Valkyrie Drite. You can only use this effect once per turn, so hard once per turn. Gains 200 attack for each of your opponent's banished monsters. That's an interesting attack boost, though, from 1000 attack. So any Valkyrie card would include Rite of the Valkyries, right? So search Rite of the Valkyries, search Mischief of the Time Goddess. I'm liking that toolbox right there from my normal summonable monster. We have Valkyrie's Sweaty, or Sweaty? I don't know. Fairy effect, light level 5, attack 1600, defense 1600. If this card is summoned, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy it, so helping pop the field so you can attack direct. After damage calc, if this card battled, you can target a continuous spell card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. So that only really helps if you like skip their battle phase, attack, and then like do that there, or you didn't have the resources to Mischief of the Time Goddess. There's 2 places that's useful, in main phase 2 or there, I suppose. Valkyrie Erst, fairy effect, light level 6, attack 1600, defense 1800. If this card is special summoned from your hand by a spell effect, you can target 1 Mischief of the Time Goddess in your graveyard. So special summoned from the hand by a spell effect. Add it to your hand. So that's any spell effect. That's pretty cool. If you control a Valkyrie monster other than Valkyrie Erst, quick effect, you can banish 1 monster from your opponent's graveyard, then this card's attack becomes equal to the banished monster's original attack until the end of this turn. You can only use this hard once per turn, so it helps power up Drite. It can go to anything, and you have other cards that help pop, so you get cards there. They're working together. All right. Nothing too busted yet, though. But the resource game is kind of cool here. Valkyrie Brunhild. Brunhilde? No, I think it's just Brunhild. Fairy effect, light level 7, attack 1800, defense 2000, unaffected by your opponent's spell effects. Gain 500 attack for each monster your opponent controls, so it gets bigger the more they have, but your goal is to get rid of them. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can have this card lose exactly 1000 defense, and if you do, your Valkyrie monsters cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. So if you couldn't pop off, you wall up. If you couldn't finish them, you wall up. Not the worst for our level 7 here. And then down below, I believe the text cuts off here, but I'll read it for you. We got Fortune Chariot, a Fairy Union effect monster. Win level 6, attack 1000, defense 2000. This card's also treated as a Valkyrie card. So I think at all times that would count since it's in that top text. Once per turn, you can either target 1 fairy monster you control, equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. The equipped monster can attack directly, but when it does so using this effect, the battle damage is halved. Okay, so overall, we've got a small toolbox, but the levels are what's hurting. You have a searchable spell card via the starter that's a fairy, so not the most resource game. I feel like it's choking out a little in terms of being able to search itself and really get off the ground going. Like, when you do, it's gonna hit hard, but I'm feeling UA 2.0 where we don't have enough summoning here. Like, yes, you can search this and then get them out of hand, but our problem arises that you need to get to this or this, and that's only 6 starter cards for a deck? This is a little bit rough. Just a little bit. Is this going to mix with pendulums? Would it be better in Pendulums than Pendulum cards already? How hard are Pendulums getting nerfed for that to happen, if it happens? I'm a little lost here from the start, but at the same time, I think it is very exciting. The toolbox seems there. It's just a matter of breaking it in and making it worth it. What do you guys think of this? This actually seems pretty exciting to me. I'm thinking I'm enjoying the toolboxy feel, but it does feel like a UA problem here. And you only have one summoning card where we got like signing jersey and stuff. And the other you had Rhoda, at least for, I guess it was at one. Okay, so what do you guys feel about this? I'm trying to rack my brain for answers. Pendulum was my first answer. What's your guys' answer as you think through this and work through it through the night? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed the discussion, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And like I said, let me know what you think. I actually do really want to hear how you would make this deck busted.